Welcome back to the Better Lives podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin.
And I'm Eric.
And today we are talking about your grocery budget. We know that in this economy, it feels like your grocery budget just keeps growing. Groceries are insanely expensive, and it seems like they're not going to go down anytime soon. $6 a dozen eggs, anybody?
Yeah, we know there's nothing you can really do to avoid those raising prices, but it's one thing just to get ahead of it and start planning. So we definitely recommend getting some kind of a meal plan, not necessarily dietary restrictions, but just planning out the week and shopping accordingly to what those needs are. We always suggest kind of starting your pantry first and look in the cupboards and see what ingredients you kind of have sitting around for a while, and then build recipes and meal plans around those. Also, if you get stuck looking for those, some suggestions we might have is like adding some of those ingredients into ChatGPT or some kind of AI platform where you just put the ingredient there. For example, if you have a lot of chicken, but you don't have a lot of chicken recipes, you don't want to eat the same chicken meal every day, put it into ChatGPT and just say, give me 5 different recipes. We'll go with this chicken. And they'll spit out some different examples. And sometimes if you don't have those particular materials in your store or in your house, they'll give you a shopping list of what to go purchase.
There also are some free apps that will take the ingredients you already have in your house and give you some meals if you're not a huge AI person. The one I use is called Supercook, and it's pretty cool. One time I put in like 20 ingredients in my house, and it was like, you can make 20,000 recipes. I'm like, that's awesome. They have different categories. You can do like desserts, main entrees, side dishes. So just something to look at. It's a free app, so can't go wrong there.
And what app was that called again?
It's called Supercook.
Supercook. I'll have to check that out.
Supercook. So we would just suggest finding some simple, easy meals to add to your rotation. You probably already have some that you make pretty frequently. I know in my house it's spaghetti and chicken Alfredo.
Chicken and rice.
That's always a good one. Or rice and beans, anybody.
Right.
But once you have the couple of meals that you typically make, I would just suggest picking a few more that you can rotate in on a bi-weekly basis. And then just set your grocery budget. So if you want to spend $60 a week on groceries, I would write that down somewhere, keep that in your head, and try your best to not go over that. You can do this by shopping sales and going to the more affordable grocery stores. I know it's trendy to shop at Whole Foods, but if that is not in your budget, then that is totally fine. And if you find an ingredient that is on sale that week, build your meals around it. So if chicken is $2 a pound, you're eating a lot of chicken that week, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, definitely. Also, with the AI applications, you can actually just take that budget of $60, and if you're kind of confused and don't even know where to start, put it in there, let ChatGPT or any of those AI platforms just say, I have $60 this week. Can you create a shopping list for me? And it'll spit out a list of the best ingredients, and then also what plans or what meals you should be able to make with that specific list.
That's a good point. I also just suggest shopping at multiple stores. So if you're going to go to Walmart, you might find that eggs are a bit more there than a different store. So go multiple places. You don't have to get everything at one store.
Yeah, and definitely sign up for each location's apps. Each store has an app or some kind of rewards program through an online platform of some sort. And with those particular applications, they actually give you exclusive benefits and coupons and whatnot, and sometimes different rewards that you can only get through the app. So be sure to shop on those and download those as many as you can. I was pretty reluctant to it, but the moment I see some things on sale that are a bit less expensive than not having that app, then I definitely, had to definitely get on that train.
Yeah, and on topic of apps, there are actually a couple of apps that you can scan in your receipts, and they will give you some cash back for the things that you bought at the store. So you can get like 25 cents off on soda, for example, and it just goes right into your account. And then when you have a certain amount, you can cash that money right into your bank account. So that's pretty cool.
Old coupon clippings, kind of the thing of the past. So it's all digital now. I mean,
which is nice. Who wants to sit there and clip coupons? Not me.
Sometimes I go through those like free newspapers that you get.
I toss those. I'm sorry.
I do sometimes, but I always clip them, but then I forget them because like when I go to the store, I was like, oh, where did that coupon go? But
Or you bring it, but it's already expired.
there's that
point.
too. Yeah, that's why it's nice to have it all digital and just scan it and forget about it. And usually a lot of those things are just tied to your phone number. So you enter your phone number and it's all stored there for you.
I find that Fred Meyer especially has really great deals with your phone number rewards.
Yeah, and then a lot of that stuff just adds up to like more cash back on gas. So that's a big
always
thing for
nice.
me. Yeah,
gas is not cheap either.
Yeah, exactly right. Another thing you could do, I mean, as much as I hate doing this, skip eating out. That's the best way to kind of lower that food budget, is not eat out as much. That's where the meal planning comes in. I know most of the time when I eat out, it's because I forgot to grab my lunch, forgot to make my lunch, whatever it is, I end up eating out, and then I end up trying to eat relatively inexpensive, so I end up eating fast food and I just don't feel as good. So like planning ahead, you can just stick to your dietary restrictions or eat a little healthier meals, and then just you have more control over it that way. But eating out less if you can, I recommend that.
I mean, if you really are in a time crunch, what my family does is we'll keep like 1 or 2 frozen pizzas in our freezer, and on the nights we just don't feel like cooking, just toss one in the oven and you have a dinner and you don't think about it and you already have it, so you're not spending any more money.
Yeah, good old frozen pizza, save the day. Also though, speaking of frozen foods, or cold foods or deliver foods, go and talk to me a little bit about some of those meal delivery services.
Yeah, so I've tried both of these in the past. One's a bit more affordable, but their companies are called HelloFresh and EveryPlate. They're actually owned by the same company, but EveryPlate's a bit more affordable. How it works is they send you a box once a week, and in that box is your meat and your other ingredients, so your veggies, your shelf-stable items, and recipe cards. And you can pick how many meals you want to do per week. Usually we do 3, and that actually is 6 servings because it's 2 servings per meal. But they send you the pre-portioned ingredients, so you just make your meals and you have no waste.
Yeah, cutting down the waste is huge. Caitlin and I were talking about this. I like to pretend I'm a chef and watch some Instagram videos and like TikTok videos of people cooking things in 10 seconds. Never takes 10 seconds on my end, but they make it look so easy. And the problem is though, when I get out and go shopping, is I end up buying too much. So
and then
it's
you
like,
don't
then
use
I end
them
up
again.
wasting a lot of stuff. It's just a one-off item that I end up not using ever again, or it's a perishable item that goes to waste. With some of these services that give you the exact portion you need, so even if it's something that's not utilized on a day-to-day basis, there's no be waste on it. So you're not.
Yeah. And then if you find you really like a meal, there's your reason to go out and buy the ingredients yourself if you're going to make it again. But if you're not, then don't bother, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see how things are done, but once you see how things are done, you can find ways to kind of save and make it your own, tailor it to your own needs or your own desires, your own tastes. Yeah, but first trying it out, that's a great way to start.
Yeah, and if you really, really need to grab some fast food, use the app. I swear I save like $10 at McDonald's whenever I go with the app. The deals are amazing, and it's not the best for you, but if the kiddos' soccer practice went a little too late, stop at McDonald's and use the app.
The apps definitely takes, again, like as much money as I can save on those apps, I try not to use them just because, again, I don't like eating out fast food. But when I do, I make sure I quickly download an app and see what kind of deals they have on there. And it ends up saving me a little bit of money. So,
and then with all the money you're saving on your groceries, you can put all that extra money in a central alignment money market account and earn even more on your savings. So just another option.
Yeah. What is a money market account? We're going to talk about that a little bit. So explain that.
Yeah. So a money market account is a higher interest earning account. It is similar to a certificate of deposit, but with that account, you have to keep the money in there for a certain amount of time. So the one downside to money market is it's a bit lower interest than a CD. But you can pull that money out whenever you want. So it's a good place to store your emergency fund.
Lower interest than a CD, but more flexibility to kind of save and pick and choose on that. And higher interest rates than the standard.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like in this economy, having the flexibility to pull your money out whenever you need it is really important.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We always want to save and try to put money aside, but rainy days happen often in Oregon. So you definitely have to have access to your rainy day funds when you need them.
Yeah, unfortunately. We want to thank you all for listening today. Remember, saving money on groceries is possible with some intentional planning. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at CentralWCU, or check us out on our website. We have a pretty cool podcast page there. You can listen directly or just follow us and subscribe.
Thanks, everybody.
The information provided here is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions.